It's been a while since I recorded. So I love doing this, by the way. Recording myself talking like this. I mean, mind you, again, like, I'm just, this is just for you and me. I'm not putting this on the public channel, so the only link is going to be in the group. Why? Because we're doing an experiment, and you're my partner on this. Because I don't have. So I was talking about this a little bit earlier in the other video that I haven't posted yet. I think it's still uploading, but it'll go in the group. And either you're gonna watch it or you're not. But the important thing is that I'm talking, right? I'm putting myself in a mental space where I'm talking directly to you. Now, you may not ever hear any of these words. You may not see any of these things. You may not ever see the group. You may not even realize that the group is still there. But over these past years, right? I've been doing this for a while. I'm only just now including you in it, to the degree that I am. Do you think we can get a cigarette? I'll find out. By keeping everything isolated into the group, including these videos, what it's doing is, for me, what it's doing is, it's isolating my mind, my consciousness, from any intrusive voices. So the only voice in my head right now is yours, so to speak. And God. Thank you, Hashem. So what ends up happening? What ends up happening when I do these videos? I trend to have like an idea of where I want it to go and what I want to do, what I want to say. But what ends up happening is I get distracted by essentially intrusive voices, intrusive presences that take on the shape of other people. Sometimes they're assholes, sometimes they're cool, sometimes they ask me questions. Like what? Like that. Yeah, but who's talking? Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's people I don't know. Sometimes it's people I do know. Do I ever say anything to you? Yeah. You're saying something to me right now. How can you tell? Because it's like a feeling. You know? Have you ever been in a room or just anywhere where you just kind of like by yourself and you feel a presence? It's like that. But I'm sensitive enough to it where I can pick up on individual energy signatures. Does that make sense? So like, you feel different than my mom, for instance, or my brother, or my son. Like it's a weird. Well, think of it like think of it like having someone like in your mind, like, oh man, I can't stop thinking about this. I can't stop thinking about this person. I can't stop thinking about this song. I can't stop thinking about whatever, this movie. I can't stop thinking about what I want to do today. Right? But now let's kind of like isolate that down to like I can't stop thinking about this person. So what am I gonna do about it? What the fuck am I gonna do? I can't get this nigga out of my head. What am I doing? I'm gonna start talking to that motherfucker like they were right there. Because that's the only logical thing to do, you know? If you're in my mind, if you're in my mind, and when I say go away, leave me alone, get out of my head, you're not listening. Alright, so you're just gonna fucking hang out there. You're gonna fucking hang out there and you're not gonna say nothing. So what do you want me to do? I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you just like I would talk to anybody else. I'm gonna talk to you the way that I wish I could talk to you. See, normally when there's people around, there's a really cute song playing right now, by the way. There's a really awesome song playing right now. Do you like David Bowie? It's from the Labyrinth soundtrack, As the World Falls Down. I just restarted it. I like this song. Wow, you know what? Here's a cool interactive idea. This is so fucking... This is actually kind of a cool idea. I love this idea. Right? So... If you can, cue the song up on like Spotify or something while you're watching this, and then you can listen to the song while I'm listening to it. Oh my god, that's so cute! That is like the cutest fucking idea in the world. Okay, I just restarted. Here, pause it. Get the song. Pause right now. Okay, good. You're back. The song's ready. I'm gonna restart it in 3, 2, 1. Now hit play. The reason see, I can't do that. I can't do that with, let's say this was like a public video, right? I wouldn't be able to do that. Because I would sense everyone else. Now, mind you, it's not like millions of people are looking at my videos. There's 22 followers on that channel. That channel's not for the sake of gaining a popularity crowd. That's not it. I mean, hey, yo, listen. If people find it, hey, good for them. If they get something out of it, good for them. I know people who watch it. I know Jews that watch my channel. But this is for me. This is a different kind of therapy. You seem very different. I know, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like there's nobody around. Now, there was a video I posted earlier this week in the group, and you'll notice, like, I'm all fucking over the place. Like, I can't focus. Like, I'm fucking cursing and going crazy. But that's because of the fact that I made it a public video. I talked about you on there. Like, I even said Miss Kim. I don't use your last name, but I do say you. Because I was making it for the group. Because I was doing an experiment. I wanted to see what would happen. How would a video turn out if I recorded it for the group, but public? Does that make sense? So that the video I made earlier today, the idea behind that one was, okay, I'm going to make that one a private one. I'm going to make that a private video. In the sense that, like, only the people with the link can see it. And I'm only putting the link in the group. You do with it whatever the hell you want. If there's anything you want to do with it. But I really did like the experience that I had when I was recording today, when I was just talking to you. Because it made me like I can feel it, you know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this for a while, and just talking to the presence that I feel. I don't know how to explain it, because I don't know if there's a word for it. Channeling, and we could say that, channeling, yeah. Like when people, like mediumship. I'm channeling souls, essentially. Oh, channeling souls, channeling consciousness. However you want to look at it. Are you saying that you're really talking to me? Well, I'm talking to you as if I am talking to you. Listen, the way it goes is, there's a saying, energy flows where our attention goes, right? If my attention, let's say this is a public video, my attention's all over the place. I don't know who's gonna watch it. I have some videos that have like 50 views, right? That's 50 different people. I don't know who the fuck they are. I don't know what they're thinking when they're watching it. I don't know if... I have videos with 0 views, but even when I'm recording them, like, the fear, the anxiety of people seeing it gets to me. And that's where a lot of those intrusive voices, intrusive presences come into play. Being that this is an isolated recording, I only have one person to contend with, my love. And it's you. So I don't have to worry about fucking David. David is an Orthodox, you can call it associate of mine. An Orthodox Jew associate of mine. I don't have to worry about David coming through, because David is never going to see this. I don't have to worry about my sister. I don't have to worry about some fucking random stranger. I don't have to worry about all those voices going, "You look like a fucking idiot. She doesn't care what you're saying." Like, I don't have to deal with that. See, the apparition of you that's in my head, that I sense. You're not an asshole. And the way the narrative is going, especially the way that God is explaining it to me, is that you actually need this. What I'm doing with this, by directing my attention at you specifically, my energy is literally transcending space and time and finding its way to you. I'm not saying that it's manipulating you, but it is, how do you say it? It's feeding an aspect of you, an aspect of your inner self that is fucking starved. In that, I have a sense, I have it on good authority, that you don't have a connection with another person like me. Which means that over the years that we have been talking, that we've known each other, especially while we were talking more frequently, the way it's explained to me, and you don't have to agree, but this is just how it's coming to me. If what I'm saying is resonating, just call it a coincidence. How about that? If it makes you feel better, call it whatever you want. So the way it's been explained to me is, thank you, Hashem, is that when we were communicating more frequently, I was tapping into and communicating and feeding an aspect of yourself that no one else was, that no one else could, because there's no one else like me. And that, well, no, it's just that simple. Because I have a way of saying things. I have a way of touching people in a way that is unique, so to speak. And over these past 2 weeks that I've been flooding the group, I have been, it's because there's a vacuum, some kind of, here's how it's going. This is what it's saying, that there was some kind of vacuum in your life that needed to be filled. And that group is allowing me, is affording me the space, time, and energy to feed that aspect of you that needs to be fed right now. What's happening? I think I'm watching people vandalize. It is Mischief Night. Oh, dude, I love Mischief Night so fucking much. Be quiet. They're all dressed in black. They're trying to be quiet. Hope they don't jump me. You like Mischief Night? I do. Come on, pussies. This is weenie shit. Toilet paper. Now, what you got to do is you got to get like 4 or 5 rolls, right? You get 4 or 5 rolls, and then you go to someone's porch and you make like a fucking spider web to make sure that nobody comes in or out. I did that once when I was at my condos. I got so drunk one night. It was a devil's night, mischief night, and I took April. I knew April was gonna get pissed, but I said fuck it. I didn't give a fuck. I took like 6 rolls of toilet paper, and I went to my neighbor. I went to my neighbor's house, his unit, and I think it had to be like maybe like 11, 12 o'clock at night, and I just wrapped up his entire front porch. I had to like, I don't know if you ever saw Mission Impossible, but I had to like fucking maneuver through. I got myself trapped, basically. But I know I saw him the next day. He was pissed, so pissed, because he said it took him like 20 minutes to break out. How are we gonna find a cigarette? Oh, fuck over here. Don't even think about it. Yeah, is this depressing? Is this like sad? Like this is what you do on your free time? Nah, you know, up until recently, I mean, this is exactly what I do. I haven't changed my schedule whatsoever. I have not added or taken away. That's not true. I've actually taken away a lot of distractions and added in and filled up that time and space with actual projects since committing to putting into the group. Putting into you? Is that how it's doing? I'm only doing it because of you. My instructions are to put all my time and attention into you. Because there's nothing better to put my time and attention into. No one better to put my time and attention into. Sorry. That's what literally my God, the God of Abraham, is telling me. Is that there's no one else worthy of my time and energy and attention than you. Because over this past year, Kim, you gotta understand, like I literally have done everything that I can imagine that I need to do. Everything that I've been working on for the past 6 years, I did everything I needed to do with it this past year. And that, baby girl, if I die tomorrow, if I die tonight, which isn't gonna happen, but let's just say, if I don't make it home tonight, I got no regrets. How's that? Brave. You got no fucking clue. But I actually I have a book for you. But there's stipulations that come with it. I wrote it. It's not someone else's. The hell am I going to waste your time with someone else's book? I write the best. Duh. So, the way it's going to work moving forward is I'm continuing on with this work. This is the next phase of the work. Like I said, I got as far as I can go. This past year, I've gone as far as I can go. I actually have gone beyond to the point where. All right, let's see if this sounds cool. My future, my past, the future of the entire human race lives in my past. I don't know. Somehow I kind of skipped over time. That makes sense. Well, I mean, it's not that I skipped over it. It's that I found a different kind of time to follow. Right? Like most people, they just live off of one calendar. I live on 5 different calendars. And technically, my consciousness exists. My consciousness exists in the past, present, and future at the same time. So, like, I can't. I'm literally in multiple places at the same time. Just in different times. The fuck, it's heavy shit. But there's no going back. I can't go back to. I don't know. I don't know. What is there to go back to? My old life is 6 years ago. But in the group, there's a project. If you go to the features, into the featured post, there's one that's called The Years of Reflection. That's a big project that I started last year, and I just got the inspiration on how it's going to play out. I literally started it last year, and so there's 6 years of review, 6 years of reflection. It involved me having to go back and rewrite that first book that I gave you. I had a digital copy of it, so it's not like It's not like I did something that was impossible. Whoa, hoodlums. So I had to go back and rewrite that entire fucking book. Then go back to all the other books, because that was just one, that was just the first one. This time last year, I showed you the pile of the 13, 14 that I wrote this year. Now mind you, 13, 14, that's a pile of 13, 14 notebooks. Each notebook has 2 books in it. So each notebook has 2 books. Each book is about 40 to 50,000 words. So those are novels. That's the bare minimum number count of a fucking small novel. And like I said, 13, I think it was 14, to be perfectly honest. But each one has 2, so between 26 and 28. Which is a shit ton. Especially, what is that? 40 to 50,000 words. Let's lowball it. 40,000 words. 40,000 words, right? Let's just say 20, just to keep the fucking numbers. That's 400,000 words. That's almost a million words. That's 500,000 words. Stephen King writes. Stephen King claims to write like 2,000 words a day. Now, mind you, that's just the journals. That's not including Facebook. That's not including anything I write on like YouTube or anything, any other social media. Like, you're on other social media? I was using X for a little bit. I was doing a cool experiment on X. I was doing something like this, where I'm talking to people without talking to them. If that makes sense. It was an experiment. Where are you going now? Right now I'm just walking on the bike trail in Northfield. This will probably be like a 3-hour recording. So, I don't know, I'll probably just walk and talk. I just needed to get out of the house. Not that I needed to get out of the house, I was actually writing in the group. Because there's a few projects I'm working on in the group. And after the last recording, I had to recharge his phone. So I saw that the phone was charged, and I felt like I had to fucking come and do this, because I knew I needed to make a second recording today. I knew it when I got home. Like I said it at the end of that last video. I was like, I have to do this again. So this really picked up. This channel, I don't know if you've ever explored my YouTube channel. I don't know if you've ever explored it, but I've been working on this YouTube channel since 2018. August 1st, 2018 is when I posted the very first video. And I didn't post again until early 2019, once I moved down to my mom's. The second video is literally it's me in my current room. I woke up from a nap, and I had this I had a dream about an actor, Patrick Stewart, and actress Charlize Theron. And they were kind of coaching me on how to be in front of the camera. And when I woke up from the nap, I'm like, fuck, I have to record. at the time I had a Kindle Fire, so I could record like 15-minute clips because the YouTube channel was still like fresh. I think there was like, at the time there was a limit on it. I think because of the device, depending on the device, I forget what the limitation was, but it was something that I wasn't allowed to record for more than, or I wasn't allowed to upload a video longer than 15 minutes for one reason or another. I don't remember. So that's what I would do is I would just record myself doing whatever, talking about whatever, and the idea of it was to break free of the fear of public speaking, because that's something that has been in my shit I need to get to list. You want to be a public speaker? Oh, the guy was smoking. The car that drove by, I could smell it. It's delicious. Political aspirations. Yeah, those that's a real thing. I've always wanted them. And I know I'm not political. I'm not political enough. I'm not sure you're cookie cutter. That's the point. That's the point, man. The idea is don't play the game to win. That's where people make the mistake, is people play to win. Don't play to win. Play to lose. It's a trick. That's actually a very valuable trick that I learned when I was learning how to play chess against myself. You ever play chess against yourself? It's not impossible. It's easy. White, black. Let each hand play independently of each other, because left hand, right brain. Right hand, left brain. Right? So essentially, it's two different brains. There's two. That's your one side. That's your left side. Like they think independently of each other. They are connected by the corpus. I forget the name of the thing. But they're two separate brains. We don't have one brain. We have one brain made up of like fucking 8 brains. Didn't we have this conversation once before? You got the human brain, you got the mammal brain, and then you got the reptilian brain. But now here's the thing, love, is they're all divided into the left and right hemisphere. So that's 6 brains. Then if we get into the pineal gland, which I had a really cool like insight the other day come to me. Not the other day, maybe like a week or two ago. The brain, when we look at it, like it shows the evolutionary process of the organism that we are. We started off as reptilian creatures, like that reptilian brain back there, that's inside of us. That thing, that used to be the thing. Whatever, we don't know what the hell that creature looked like, but that thing, that organism, used to just operate on the reptilian brain. But once the reptilian brain reached its full potential, that's when it's subdivided. In the sense that's where the reptilian brain stops, because it can only go so far. It can only evolve to a certain degree before it's like, I can't grow anymore. It's like a self-regulator. So once the reptilian brain reached its maximum potential, that's when the mammal brain kind of sprouted out of it. And over millions of years, the mammal brain evolved and grew into what it is today. And then once it reached its maximum potential, then it evolved into the cerebrum. But now here's the cool thing. If you follow all the brains, they go outward. But with the pineal gland, right? The pineal gland is internal. It's like it's right in there. It's like here, back here. what it told me, what God told me last week, the week fucking before, whatever, is that that's the next evolutionary step. Whereas moving forward, once the human brain, once we master that, once we master the cerebrum, all further evolutionary expansions take place internally. And it's not going to be so much as evolution physically, like we see. Not necessarily that we're going to sprout wings, maybe. But more evolutions in consciousness, evolutions in awareness, evolutions in perception, evolutions in spiritual awareness, even. Heavy shit. I don't know, unless you think this is basic bitch stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know. Where are you going? I don't know. I'm following the feelings. I'm hoping that this leads us to a fucking cigarette, because I really, really would love to smoke. Love it. Yeah. Now, what the hell? Do you know what? This song is actually bringing up a thing. We're changing it. We're going hard. We're going to change the subject on this. What do I need to do to get a woman? Preferably you. Why you? That's what I want to find out. That's really what I want to find out. Like, why you? Physically, I understand. That's not there's not too much question there. You may not see it, but you gotta understand, it's like, when it comes to perception, you and I, we can stand shoulder to shoulder. Someone's doing laundry. You and I, we can stand shoulder to shoulder at night, and we can look up at the moon. It will appear as if we're looking at the same thing. But in reality, we are perceiving two completely different objects from two completely different angles. And mind you, there may be just a minuscule of a fucking hair. We can put our heads together and look up at the same time. But we are seeing two completely different perceptions of the same, maybe not even the same thing. That's assuming that we live in the same reality. I could just be a projection of your reality where you're just a projection of my reality. And which one's the right one? Your reality might not even exist. Your reality might not even exist unless it's in my reality, which is something that I believe, by the way. Because the reason I know my reality is real, because I'm perceiving it. I can see it. It's everywhere I go. My reality, my little reality bubble, or maybe my big reality bubble, however you want to fucking say it, exists within God's reality bubble. Within God. So it's not even my reality. I live in God's reality. I'm an independent actor. How about that? Which means that anybody who doesn't believe in God, who doesn't trust God, who doesn't rely on God, as though He is the source of all, doesn't exist in my reality at all. To one degree or another. Right? That's fucking scary. That's scary. What were you saying about a woman before? Oh no, I need a counterpart. I need like a mate. So I feel. I mean, it's not impossible that it's all in my head, but I really don't. That this is just like some kind of like animal desire that is eventually going to be killed off from just not being used. Like, use it or you lose it, right? That's how it's said. I haven't used that part of me in so long that it's like, oh fuck, is that really where we're going with this? Evolving beyond the need of like literal physical affection? Fuck, I hate that idea. I'd rather kill myself. Yeah, if I have to live my life without sex, I would rather kill myself. Honestly, I don't think that's like, I don't think that's out of line to say. I would rather kill myself than have to live my life alone. And that's the thing, is like, why am I so I know why. I know that it's God doing it. I know that's God kind of giving me commands. You gotta understand, my relationship with God is my relationship with God. Ain't nobody gonna be able to explain to me what my relationship with the Most High is, because I've been fucking doing it isolated for the past year. Well, technically calendar year on the Jewish calendar. But, you got a cigarette? Nah, fucking dogs. Fucking mutt. But at the same time, like, the more that I get to know him, the more that I can recognize that he/she has always been there, doing the same thing that they're doing right now, which is guiding me. Like, there's things that are just completely outside of my control that I have absolutely no handle over whatsoever. There's a book that we're working on in the group called Shar HaBitahon. The Gate of Motherfucker. The Gate of Trust is what it translates to. So the idea in Jews don't believe in God. It's not about believing in God. To some, yeah, to some. I don't want to speak for everybody, but it's not supposed to be that way. The Bible never commands us that we have to fucking believe in anything. It says worship, but that's... Thank you, my Lord. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you, my delicious God. So yeah, there is an aspect to it, but most importantly, we have to learn to develop a trusting relationship with the Most High, because he's not a fucking dictator like some religions would lead people to believe. On the contrary, God's like a partner. God's like literally like a life partner. I talk some crazy shit with God. Me and God talk about sex. We talk about love. I share my intimate feelings with God, and God reciprocates in ways that only I can recognize through other people and through experiences. Like, people will do things for me, and I get it. Like, they like, so great example would be Chris leaving his phone in Teresa's car, right? Chris had no fucking clue. Chris and Teresa both had no clue. I would love to. I'm gonna tell Teresa this story, by the way. I'm gonna tell her all about you and me. My mom wants to make her dinner. Well, my mom wants to go out to dinner. I don't know if they're gonna invite me. I don't know if they're gonna invite me because I'll be like the fifth wheel. And how awkward that will be. So I'm actually debating, like, if they all go out to dinner, like, I'll probably stay home because it's like I'm just gonna ask like awkward questions and it's gonna be weird. So I'm better off just like not even getting involved with it. But my intention is I'm gonna bring up to Teresa what happened, so she knows the full extent of what she did. Because I don't blame her. Trust me, like I was saying in the other videos. 2 days before you guys called me, I got the message, Kim's coming back. Hey, man. That's the same message I get right now. The message I'm getting right now is keep talking to her in the group. Just keep talking to her in the group. She needs to do her thing right now. But there's coming a point where that neither one of you can actually control. It's completely out of your control. Where we're going to be put in the same spot at the same time. And you know what's funny? It's actually interesting, 7-Eleven. Cool. It's actually interesting. Speaking of Teresa, I'm hearing Teresa in my mind. I'm seeing a scene. And in the scene that I'm seeing in my head, Teresa comes to see you to see if you will come to the dinner as my date. And you're gonna say no. Because last night I was seeing things. And I saw her asking Chris about you and me. Because she's a woman, so she's more perceptive than the average man. And the narrative that was playing in my mind. Mind you, I'm just. These are just the feelings that are showing themselves to me. I could be wrong. There's no. That's not me saying like, oh, this is 100% the way things are. This might only be like 0.002%. But at the same time, even if only 0.002% accurate in relation to reality, that means that she already asked him. Because obviously we know each other. Why does Derek and Kim know each other? She's an inquisitive girl. I don't know what the fuck my brother's gonna tell her. She already, and here's the thing is, they talk about me when I'm not there. They talk about me behind my back. She told me. I'm not saying that they talk bad. I will hope not. But it did come up that I used to work for Hugo. And she jumped right. Oh, I know. Chris told me. Oh, really? He did. Now, she didn't tell me what he told her. I don't know what he told her. Like 2 weeks ago or so, my mother went to go pick up Chris. I went with her. The last time I went with her, the last time she asked me to go with her to go pick him up, we ended up sitting in the goddamn car waiting for him for 2 hours. I think, right? Was it 1 hour or 2 hours? It was at least 1 hour, at most 2 hours. We waited for him because like someone came in last minute and we bought like fucking $5,000 worth of shit. But this last time, we were waiting in the car, which is like I don't give a shit. Like I went with her. I went with her because I needed to be in your energy. That's what it was. She asked me if I wanted to go, and I'm like, fuck yes. Fuck yes. Just in case. You never know. Plus, I just want to be in the same space as Kim. Like, is that, like, that's... Where is that coming from? I wanted to be in a space where I know that you're at. But it gets cooler. Weirder, cooler. So, I think this is fucking amazing. This is fascinating to me. I want to. I love my life. Let's put it like that. I have the most fascinating life ever. That's what I told God already. I told God, if Miss Kim has the fucking balls to ask me to marry her, I will say yes before the fucking words even finish coming out of her mouth. That she's the one woman I don't know if I would be even I don't know if I would want to say no to you about anything. If you said, Derek, let me stick a fucking rusted knife up your ass, you know what, Kim? I think I'm gonna let you do it. I think I just want to see you. I just want to see the joy on your face. Oh, that would be cute. What? Well, I was just thinking of this idea. What if, I'm never going to tell you this either. You're going to have to watch these things. But just know that these are the things that are going through my head. There's a conspiracy theory that the New World Order, that the cabal, that the Illuminati, that what they do is they encode their future plans into movies, books, video games, in the news. They tell us what they're going to do before they do it. It's a tactic that I've come to use myself. Now, of course, conspiracy theory stuff, we don't know. But I can tell you that I do it. I'm doing it right now. I'm telling you what I'm going to do without your consent. Because what we learn from the conspiracy theory is that they give themselves permission to do nefarious things by telling us that they're going to do it. And we do not stand up and say no. So, I'm going to say yes when you ask me to marry you. When you realize that you need me, like that badly, that deeply, I already know I need you that deeply. I already know it. Like I don't need anyone to tell me. I don't need you to tell me. Like God's already shown me why I need you. Part of why I need you. I don't know the whole story, but I know that I need you. We were just walking, right? About 20 minutes, half hour ago, down on the bike trail. Now I'm down by Birch Grove. But what I was saying while we're out there is over this past year, after learning that I was Jewish, after embracing my Jewishness, I went out and I was doing all of the things that the Mashiach has to do. Like, so there's a man, and he has a job. So I'm doing the job for him. How do you know what the job is? There's a list. It's called Jewish prophecy. It's called prophecy. So what I do is I study Judaism. I study the Jewish religion. I don't practice it. I follow the law of Torah, but I don't practice Orthodox Judaism. I'm learning the law of it, though, because I do plan on incorporating aspects of it, and not even that, but just reinterpreting it. So Orthodox Judaism is based on an interpretation of Torah law, right? So I have my own interpretation of Torah law. So I have my own school of Judaism. So when I say Orthodox, ultra unorthodox Jew, that's what I mean. I'm an ultra unorthodox Jew in relation to Orthodox Jews. And mind you, there's a lot of Jews. There's Orthodox Jews. There's an ultra unorthodox Jew. There are secular Jews. There are atheist Jews. There are satanic Jews. There are what's another one? Reformist Jews. That's another one. Now, certain Jews, like Orthodox Jews, they only recognize you have to be one of them. If you're not one of them, you're not a Jew. If you do not think exactly like they think, you are not one of them. Which is fine, but that's not how it works. That's actually the antithesis of how it works. You have to. It's a blood thing. It's an ancestral, genetic thing. It's a race. The Jewish race is not necessarily the same as the Jewish religion. I am of the Jewish race. I have Jewish DNA in me, which is enough to slip me through the cracks. How do you tell? Well, it depends on your ancestry. That's what I'm saying. Is like, I have genetic markers. I share genetic markers. Doesn't necessarily mean that we are related directly. But I share genetic markers with Benjamin Netanyahu through my father's Y chromosome, which means that Benjamin Netanyahu and I, we branched off from the same people. Which is from God's lips to my mouth, to my ears, is all the evidence that I need. You have to be me to understand me. I have a calling. I've had a calling my entire life to do exactly what I'm doing right now. So it's not like, to me, it's not like some crazy conspiracy theory. It's just like my life has guided me down this path with such precision and such specificity that when I observe the timeline of my personal life that I have perceived, not to mention my feelings and what I've always felt for my entire life, I knew this was coming. I've known this was coming since I was a kid. I mean, mind you, not fucking technology, all this stuff, but I knew that I was going to elevate into this position in my mind. I saw it. I used to dream about it when I was a kid. And that's what I'm saying. When I say a calling, like I've always felt drawn in a very specific direction, which is the direction that we're walking in right now. And at the same time, I always knew. I didn't know the words, like I didn't learn about Judaism until probably like first grade. So I knew it was there. But this goes back even further than that. I guess it's all around the same time. And what I knew about it is like I heard one of my teachers, my first grade teacher, told us that Rosh Hashanah was the Jewish New Year, which it's not. It's not. It's not. Rosh Hashanah is not the Jewish New Year. Passover is the Jewish New Year. And Passover is 6 months. 6 months after Rosh Hashanah. Actually, 6 months and 2 weeks. How about that? Literally, because I know this because it's based on the moon cycles. And it depends on the year. Sometimes it's 7 months and 2 weeks. Every 2 to 3 years, it's 7 months and 2 weeks. We just got out of a leap year. Your life is predicated right now on a 12-month year. I just got done with a 13-month year. How's that? That's pretty fucking dope. And it is dope. But like I was saying, this is all a calling of mine that I've been fighting to one degree or another for my entire life. And when I say fighting, like I couldn't accept it. Like it was too good to be true. It was too impossible. It just seemed like try to imagine waking up in a fucking fairy tale, man. In a fucking movie. Where everything in your life is pointing you in this direction that's saying this is the way. But everyone in your life is pointing in the opposite direction going, this is the way. So we have two directions that we can choose. We either follow the way that everyone's telling us to go, or we follow the call. What is that called? I don't know. What is it that calls? Don't get scientific. Just follow my logic. What is it that calls birds home? What is it that calls birds south for the winter? That inner navigation, that inner compass. We have that same thing. I know you feel it. I know you know it too. I wonder if you feel like you're more aligned with your purpose now. You're more aligned with your compass. I'd be interested in hearing that. Why? Why? Because I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything that there is to know about you. Everything. Why? Because I fucking love you, Kim. That's why. And I don't know what to do about it. All I can do is sit back, pray to my Lord that he's not fucking with me. That I was right when I first met you. And I heard the voice in my head say, I'm going to marry her. This is the woman I'm going to marry. It's been with me ever since. Now, mind you, it didn't really become, like it was always there. It's always there. Like under the surface. But it wasn't until, well, because you know what ended up happening? Like, I didn't plan. I never knew that I was going to see you when I was going to see you. I didn't even know I was going to meet you the first fucking time I met you. Chris didn't tell me nothing about you. I had no idea that there was such a thing as a Kim. When we walked into, that first time I went to Hugo Boss with him, we were already in the car. I don't even know if I knew until we got there. I'm like, what are we doing here? He didn't even ask me. We just went. And we fucking walk in there, and what the hell is the first thing I see? The first thing I see is a little fucking squirrel girl. Oh my God. Can we talk about that? Fuck it. Of course, I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. But God, I saw the most beautiful girl I had ever seen in my life. Because it was like, I have a very specific type. I'm very particular. Very particular. And when I remember turning that corner, like my eyes, I felt my eyes, like even remembering it now, like my eyes bugged the fuck out of my head going, what the fuck is that? I love you. I need you. I need you. I don't want any other woman. I wrote off women, by the way. I told God, I don't want to. I have it written down. I got it all written down. So you can talk. We can talk all the shit that we want. Are you sure this is what you? Listen, I had a lot of time to think about it, and my lord, my legal counsel, told me that this is the best decision of that ever. But I told him there was a time where I actually had over this past summer. It's not like of this past year. It's not like I just cut myself off from people. I tried. I really did. I even told a girl she was hot. I told her she was so hot. I said, "You are so hot," because she is. She is fucking hot. She's like a dykey, like a lesbian looking girl. I got a thing for lesbian girls. I don't know if she's actually a lesbian, but she's like one of those boy lesbians, with short hair, but very sexy. And she was posting a picture of herself, and I was like, I was fucking high. I was smoking pot at the time, but she runs like an online store where she sells like pieces. Like I bought these dragon heads off of her, and then I bought this kind of cool thing. It's like a pentagram. No. It's a hexagram, a hexagon that has the Elder Futhark runes, die cut, like it's like a sticker, like a piece of vinyl on them. So it's like a white, maybe a quartz hexagon, and it has in gold adhesive vinyl. It has the Elder Futhark runes. Oh, there's a dark alley right there. Sometimes I catch people smoking pot. I want some pot. I want a cigarette. But I was trying to be adventurous. I was trying to step out of my comfort zone. Feel me? And she posted this picture of herself, and she was fucking. She was looking really good. She had just got a new haircut. And of course, she's a chick. She posted a picture. I'm assuming this is how women work. Like she posts a picture on her Facebook page, hoping and or expecting people to compliment her. Like, right, fishing for compliments, which is okay. Trust me. I was okay with it. And I said to her, "You are so hot that if I was a girl, I want to look like you." Which I thought was like the cutest. I thought that was like a really sweet compliment. I don't know if people find that shit weird. I don't know if you find this weird. I don't really give a fuck. I don't think that I don't see anything wrong with the way that I am at all. I think I'm cute. To be perfectly honest. I think I'm cute. I think I'm charming. Like, I can appreciate my way. Cause it's like, fuck out of here. I can appreciate the way that I am. Because it makes me, like, I like to feel, it makes me feel like mushy and gushy. I like to feel that way from time to time. I like to feel things. I like to feel. I love feeling. He loves feeling. Yeah. I'm sensitive. But you gotta keep in mind too, it's also, I believe it's part, in part, not entirely, but in part, it's a byproduct of a near-death experience I had when I was an infant, which on the Jewish calendar we are in the window of time where it's the 44th anniversary of when it happened. I was struck with a severe case of encephalitis. What's encephalitis? Encephalitis is hyper inflammation of the brain and central nervous system. So my mother's not really sure where it came, how it happened. She has an idea, but what ended up happening was it might have been from a bacterial infection from the hospital from when I was born, but I was 6 weeks old, so. But what ended up happening, I almost died. The hospital staff actually told her, like, this kid, he's not going to make it. But they took me. Like, there's a scar on my ankle. Yeah, I'd say it's about like that big. It's on, it's right above my ankle, my inner left ankle. But, because my body was so small, they couldn't administer the medicine using needles because I was too wormy and squirmy. And obviously, six week old, they can't put me under, you know. So they had to do an invasive surgery. It was like a transdermal invasive surgery to administer whatever medicine, whatever the fuck they put in me. But apparently, from what I understand, I survived. But my mother said, like, afterwards, like, she says she doesn't know if I died. I got a feeling I probably didn't. But the thing is, but it goes like this, is the trauma. Imagine the trauma on the baby. That's what that's where my attention goes to when I talk about that and the impact that it had on my system. My mother and I, like I said, we were talking about this not too long, maybe like several months ago. But she was saying, like, maybe when that happened to me, that's probably what opened the door, which is why I'm able to receive the messages and to feel into the more subtle expressions of spiritual, emotional, mental, and even physical spectrum. Now, the way it explains itself to me, and believe it or not, the way that it has been explaining itself to me for a while, because I did an ayahuasca ceremony. It was a private ayahuasca ceremony, all right? So a friend of mine, I met this dude on Twitter back in 2020. Was that 2020? No, it was 2019. So I used to be heavy on Twitter. I used to do a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I got into this group. It was like a psychedelic group. It was like people who took psychedelics. It was dope. I met some cool people, and I met this dude in there. He was a cool guy. I think his name was Justin, but he did this podcast. I would listen to his podcast from time to time, but back in 2021, springtime 2021, he hit me up on Facebook. And he's like, yo, I got these psilocybin ayahuasca chocolates. So the way it worked was, I mean, mind you, what's up, man? How you doing? So, how do you say it? So it was like a bar of chocolate, 5 pieces. But each piece was equivalent to 1 cup of ayahuasca. Hey, my friend, do you smoke? No.
Oh, you want light?
No, I was asking if you had one.
Oh, no, it's all right. No,
No, I don't know. It's cool. Thank you, man. No, I smell one. That's why. Oh, yeah, I fucking smell one. What the hell? Maybe back here. Oh my god, it smells delicious. You need a cigarette, man? Yeah, I do. Man. Fuck. So he hit me up. He asked me if I wanted any. And fuck it. Hell yeah, dude. This was when we were getting the COVID money at that point. I was getting COVID money from what? Do you think it's possible I can get over there in time? I see this motherfucker smoke. There's a 7-Eleven guy. 7-Eleven guy. Come on, motherfucker. So I got one. It was fucking like $350. It wasn't cheap. But the chocolate, the bar, had like 5 pieces to it. So it was like 5 cups of ayahuasca. Now at the same time, like the timing, this was literally divine timing. Because my mom and Mike, they went to Florida. They went to Florida for about a week. So it was just me and Chris. And Chris is working all day, every day. So I don't got shit I gotta do except my ayahuasca. So for 4 days, I was doing private ayahuasca ceremonies by myself. I would take a piece, I would eat a piece, and then I would go to Birch Grove and just do my thing. And one night, I had fuck, I don't know if this guy's actually smoking. We're gonna find out. Hey, my friend, do you have a cigarette? Do you have a cigarette? What? Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yep. So the one night, I think it was like it was day or night 3, I believe. Shit, where's my lighter? It was day or night 3. And no, it was day. Man, I don't know. I would love to talk to you about. I want to know if you ever done psychedelics. Like your thoughts on psychedelics. What are your thoughts on psychedelics? So, oh my God, was it hard? Was it hard? Yo, it was fucking unlike anything I had ever experienced before. Because I'm by myself. Chris is at work all fucking day. I got the house to myself. I didn't write. I wrote a little bit on day 1. But yo, that got heavy. It got real heavy. My inner Lucifer came out. It's dope. I don't it might just be mumbo jumbo, but when you having read it and knowing what I was experiencing at the time, yo. Now about this. Now notice the path that we took. If we didn't go exactly the way that we went, speaking on karma and dharma, our dharma literally led us to a cigarette tonight. What did I say when I wanted a fucking cigarette? Is it possible to find a cigarette on this way? And you know what's funny? Is when we first left the house and I was coming up this way past 7-Eleven, I saw that dude. He's an employee, and I saw him inside. And something, my instincts, I almost part of me wanted to go into 7-Eleven and ask him if he had a cigarette. So as we're coming around over here, after I just smelled the cigarette, and we come around, I saw him standing outside. That's why I'm like, fuck it, you know what, just do it. And he was out there. So, when I was in the... So, oh, dude. Alright, so you'll think this is cool. How do you know I'm even watching this? I don't. That's such an awesome part. Because it's not impossible that I have to tell you this story again. Because you gotta understand, like this, right now, I'm on a walk with you. I want to walk with you. I want to walk through life with you. Like, is that too much? Like, really? I mean, if I'm gonna be like, if we're gonna get like real, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to spend the rest of your life with you. Now the cool thing is, because I can say it to you here, I can say that to you in real life. I'm preparing. I'm. The way God's explaining it to me is like I'm refining myself to be able to talk to you like this in person. A love spell. Did I ever put a love spell on you? No. But I did use love magic. I put it on myself. Never put a spell on someone, because it will bounce back at you. Aw, that's so sweet. Well, the love spell it wasn't a love spell to make me love you. I loved you from the minute I saw you. It was love at first sight. My mother had the same thing. My mother had the same thing with my father. That's why I'm special. I love their story. She was, they were like 18. She was like 18. She was young. I think she lost it. I'm pretty sure, I've never asked her, but I'm pretty sure my mother lost her virginity to my father. Oh, I love this song. It's the Windmill, Gorillas. Rewind it. So, well, this is actually biblical. I'm what's called the first fruit. The firstborn, the first issue of the womb, is the most special. That's like the firstborn gets, let's say there's other, it's called patrimony. The Bible gets pretty deep into this, in how the son inherits from the father. It's called patrimony. But it's not necessarily stuff. Spiritual inheritance. Now, if my father had another son, being them the firstborn, I would get double portions. What about Chris? He was the firstborn. I know, but he was the third. My mother's womb was already... Now, my mother knew Chris's father longer. She knew Ralph ever since she was a kid. They grew up together. Ralph was my uncle's best friend. Do they have a relationship? They talk. But Ralph was like an absentee father, to a degree. After my mother and him split, he left. Chris knew him. Chris would spend time with him. Chris lived with him for a little bit. Actually, I got blamed because Christopher moved out to move in with his father. But Yeah, that's why I get all the best stuff. That's why I'm allowed to do the shit that I do. That's why my mother doesn't get on my case anymore about my life. She doesn't tell me to do anything. She doesn't tell me to get a job. She doesn't tell. Just do your thing. I like to believe that she recognizes that I'm not fucking around. Like, I take my life seriously. When people say don't take your life too seriously, I take my life as so serious that I take my life more serious than I think most other people take their lives. Which is why I deeply and genuinely believe that I am the perfect man for you, because I'm willing to put a love spell on myself that I could evolve. I have it all written down. When I was working with Mia Magic at the time, Witch School 1, Level 1, at the end of the 6 weeks, it was a 6 weeks program. At the end of the 6 weeks, we did our first ritual. We did a ritual. And my intention was to become the perfect man for you. That you have always dreamt of. Yeah, we're back at the bike trail. You like the artwork? I want you to be the Yolandi to my ninja. I don't know. Like, I wanna make your life better by spoiling you. I don't have money, but I have lots and lots of love to give. Actually, I told God recently, before the group, before getting in the group, I asked God, what do I have to do for you? Capital Y, you, God, what do I have to do for you? My Lord, what do I have to do for you? So that I immunize myself from the charms of every other woman except for my future bride-to-be. And what else do I have to do for you, my God? What is that? To ensure that my future bride-to-be doesn't need any other man except for me. See, for me, so I don't have a desire to be with many people. I'm not into having sex with all the women. I'm not into sharing, for one. That's another thing. But what I'm looking for in a relationship is impossible. To some people. Like, it's not even feasible. It's just like, what do you have, your mind? That's not even real. Exactly. But I believe it is. And God tells me that it is not impossible. And in order to achieve everything that I'm looking to achieve, everything I need to do to achieve what I want to achieve, I'm doing. You popped up. You popped back into my life. The timing of it is impossible. I want you. I don't, like, there's nobody else I want. Yeah, but you don't even know me. I don't care. Because I'm willing to take the challenge. I'm willing to accept the challenge of exactly that. Like I said, if you had the balls, if you actually had the balls to ask me to marry you, the answer is yes. Because I am clairvoyant, I can see things, and I sense that it's not impossible, that that's going to happen one day. And it's going to be the greatest day of my life. Every day of my life is the greatest day of my life, but that's going to be a whole different level. Because the way I met you is the same way my mother met my father. It was like the same not the same circumstances, it's a little bit different. They were at a party. And come on, man. Get in my way. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
She went to a party and mind you, again, like she was 18, he was 20, I think he was 5 years older than her, 5 or 6 years older than her, so he must have been 24. And she said she got to the party and she didn't really know anybody. She was there with her friend and she saw this sexy man. This just scrumptious man. My father was a sexy man. Oh my God. My father was like, women love my father. But she said that she walked in and she saw this man just lounged out. Lounged out on a fucking table. And she said when she saw him, she laid her eyes on him and she went to her friend, I'm gonna marry him. They didn't really even talk. She said that there was a couple, they bumped into each other a few more times. They bumped into each other a few more times after that. And he didn't even remember her. She said she went out to a club or a bar or something. And she saw him and she said she tried talking to him. She tried to talk to him and she went up to him and she's like, hey, do you remember me? And he's like, oh, who the fuck are you? What was he thinking? Did you ever get his side of the story? Yeah. He said that there was some time that passed, but they lived in the same area. And he said he was in a van with his friend. And he saw this fucking hot chick with this really nice ass. And it happened to be her. But no, they always loved each other too. And that was the thing. Like even when I was married to April, like he was a ball buster type of guy, but he always used to bust my mother's balls. But that's because my father was so much in love with my mother. Like, it was actually sad. It was actually sad. It was sad that they broke up. But when you saw them, when they interacted together, like, it was cute. Cause he used to try to like act like he didn't Life's a bitch and then you die, or you marry my ex-wife. You say shit like that. But when he was in the hospital, when he was sick though, that's when I saw a different side of my mother. That's when everybody realized, like, holy shit. Everybody realized, like, holy shit, these two got a thing. They got a thing, as in, like, yo, the flame may have went out, but that wick is still burning. Like, they would hang out. Like, she would come up and hang out with him when he was watching Dez. It was cool. But you know, it's actually, like, really crazy. It's a really crazy story. She could tell you, is that her grandmother is it her grandmother or her great grandmother? Her great-grandmother was the wet nurse of my father's grandmother. My great-grandmother. My mother's great-grandmother was the wet nurse when my great-grandmother on my father's side gave birth to her second son. Now that man, his name was Michael. They were in Italy at the time. They had no idea. She told me that, because I asked her, like, how the fuck did you guys even find that out? But apparently they were at a family reunion of my father's. And I guess the family, they were talking about, like, oh, where's your family from? Oh, I'm from Italy. We're in Italy. Oh, from Macedonia. Oh, you're from Macedonia? We're from Macedonia. And it just kind of went from there. But now here's a cool thing. Well, actually, yeah, yo, this is so fucking wild. Is the baby that my mother's great-grandmother was the wet nurse for, his name was Michael. He only had one son. His son's name was Michael. Michael grew up to be a priest. He was a man of the cloth. When my father's father died when he was 14. My grandmother, my father's mother, she was a very devout Christian woman. So when her husband died, he had died of a massive heart attack. He just like fucking keeled the fuck over. He actually had to say that whatever, he was in like the asbestos removal industry. And like shortly before he died, they had found spots on his lungs. So, which is similar to what happened to my father. My father did tile for like 40 fucking years, almost. Maybe like 30 years, my father was doing tile. And what ended up happening was when he got cancer, it had just progressed so far that when he went to the hospital, when he finally went to the doctor to get checked, like they found the lumps on his lungs, but more seriously, they found that he had a fluid buildup around his heart. So it got to a point. As soon as they found it out, they said the doctor told him, like, get your ass to the hospital, get that drained immediately. So they even said to him, like, if you waited, you would have fucking died from a massive heart attack because of the fluid buildup around the heart. So it was basically the same thing that happened to his father, almost happened to him. Except that because of the fact that it was caught, I guess you could say early, for whatever the fuck that's worth. because it was caught. They were able to drain it. But after his father died, his cousin, Michael, the priest, ended up being the father figure for him. Because Michael was my grandmother's favorite nephew. She had lots of nephews. She had like, because there was Michael, there was Nikki, there was Tessie, there was Roy. So she had 4 siblings, and all of her siblings had kids. But Michael was the only priest. Now, granted, Michael was the firstborn of the secondborn, because her firstborn brother, she had another brother named Tony. He killed himself long time ago. I think like before she was even born. Uncle Tony, crazy Uncle Tony. He shot a woman in the head and then he fucking blew his brains out. The woman was his girlfriend's aunt or something like that. It's like a really fucked up story. And the aunt was obsessed with him, so I don't know, apparently he brought a gun and then he shot her. She survived, he didn't. But when they got married, my mother and my father, Father Michael was the priest that married them. Now, Yom Kippur was just 19 days ago. The day after Yom Kippur, I found out that fucking Michael died. My father Michael died. I like it was fucked up too, because I was trying to figure out how to get in touch with him, because I needed to talk to him about what's going on with me. Because what's happening to me is not normal. There's no documented cases like mine, in the sense that, I don't know, man. Like I'm very isolated. Very isolated. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I know what's happening, but I don't know what's happening. I have no one to turn to. I have no one to ask questions to. The only person I can only ask God, which is like fucking scary. And what makes it scarier? And I heard the question, like, yeah, but does he respond? Yeah. Yes. That's how I know, because what God's favorite thing to say to me is, I told you so. Yeah. And mind, yeah, it's cool. Like, it's cool. Like, there's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not all fucking nightmarish, but it's terrifying. Because I was talking about this in the video I recorded earlier today. How do I know it's God that I'm hearing? How do I know that it's God? And last summer, when I finally read Genesis for the first time, that's how I knew. That was the confirmation. Because once we get into the life and times of Abraham and Isaac, his son, and Jacob, his son, and even Joseph, who's the 4th patriarch. Once we get into their life and times, the way that God interacts with them is exactly how he interacts with me, which is comforting. It helped relieve a lot of the fear in my experience. Like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Like, this is fucking crazy. Not anymore, it's not. Now it's just like, holy shit. I'm one of these guys. And that's the other weird thing. Is like when I was fucking 12, the voice has always been there and it's always been talking to me. But when I was 12, it told me, your family isn't your family. Your family are, the way it put it was, your family are magic people. You can't see them, but they can see you. You're not going to meet them until you're older. Too good to be true. I didn't want to be part of my family. I really didn't. I hated my mother. I hated my mother's family. But when you look at us, that was my issue. And that's what I even said. I said to the voice, I'm like, what are you talking about? I look exactly like them. That doesn't, something's not computing. This doesn't make sense. Now it does. But when I read Genesis for the first time last summer, that's when it clicked. This is them. This is my family. I'm a fucking Hebrew. Now, even at the time, I wasn't saying Jew because I didn't know necessarily what it meant to be a Jew. I thought that was just like a religious thing. But now I know Hebrew is a race. It's a race of people. Israelites are a race of people. Which way is he going? He's going that way. I'm going this way. No, you know what? I'm just going to stand here for a minute. Let him get ahead. So when I read the book, I'm like, holy shit, this is literally the family that God was telling me about. That was God who was talking to me, because he's talking to me the way that he talks to them. One of the precepts of Judaism, it's called 13 Pillars of Faith. And one of them is, you have to believe that God speaks in prophecy. God speaks to us in prophecy. And what that means is, my understanding of it, I don't know how other people understand it, but this is how I understand it, is that he shows us glimpses of things to come. And when those things happen, and mind you, it's little things that only mean something to you. Synchronicity, you know what a synchronicity is. I believe that you do enough research on your own. I believe you're going through your own spiritual awakening process. And I don't know, part of me thinks that like you're going to come to me and ask me a question about something that you don't understand, because you know that I'm going to have the answer. And I'm not gonna fucking like bust your balls about it. Like, you have any questions, just ask me. If you ever have any questions about me, you can ask them. God, I give you permission to give her permission to give Miss Kim, and only Miss Kim, permission to ask me anything. Would you like to do an AMA one day? Ask me anything? Fuck, dude. Why? Because I want to ask you myself. You can ask me any question. I will not say no. There's nothing I won't answer for you. I'll make that deal with you. If you ever have a question for me, just ask. And I will give you as honest and as authentic of an answer as you want. Now, mind you, that alone, that's a scary proposition. Not for me. Not for me. I don't mind. I'll tell you anything. That's more of a scary, I'm thinking that's more of a scary question for you, because it's like, fuck. What the hell does that mean? Exactly. But that's why in the group, I'm throwing everything out there because I need to not be afraid to say anything to you, especially if the visions are real. And I know I'm saying if, because not everything comes to pass. That's the fucked up thing. It's kind of like this, right? I can't tell you anything. That's why I have to do it like this, because technically, there's workarounds, there's loopholes. That's the cool thing about this, is that God did place loopholes into the law so that you're not technically breaking it. You're not breaking the covenant because, like I said, there's logic loopholes. And it's perfectly fine. It's a mitzvah. It's called a mitzvah to find those loopholes. And it doesn't sound good. But I'll let you kind of like find a better wording for it. But this is the first word coming to mind. It's a mitzvah, which is like a good deed. It's like, so Jews, we have 613 mitzvahs. So once we get into most people are only familiar with the 10 Commandments, but there's a lot more. So 630, well, at least 613 blatant commandments. God refers to them in the book as the laws, rules, and commandments. So there's a differentiation. And they're all laid out over the course of the 4 books. 5. Because there's some that aren't even said. It's like you pick up on them. You pick up on them by observing everything else that's going on. How you doing, man? So it's try to imagine it like how would I word it? So like you pick up on things by observing it. So the books of Torah, also known as the 5 books of Moses, which is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Those are the 4 main books of Torah. Those are the books of the law. Those are the teachings. It is a series of moral codes to live by. Throw away everything that you think you know about Christianity. Don't even worry about that. That means nothing. Christianity is a false religion based on lies. Because what Christianity does, Christianity promotes the idea that Jesus is God. But that is not the case. Jesus was a man. Jesus was a Jew. He was a Jew, just like me. He was an ultra unorthodox man-witch, Jew supreme for his time. So now mind you, this is like ancient shit. So civilization wasn't as evolved as it is today. Now, mind you, there are moral relativists out there that will like shit on the Bible because of certain rules, because of certain laws. But when you really think about it, they're perfectly fine. There's nothing objectionable about anything that is said. Now, mind you, there is a degree of male empowerment over women, but there's a reason for that. And the idea is, aww, this is cute. Gonna Be You with Dolly Parton, Belinda Carlisle. I think Cyndi Lauper's on here too. But the idea is not that men are better than women. That's not it. Just because you have a little pussy doesn't mean that like my little dick is better than you. I need you as much as you need me. Do you understand? Like we're a team. We're partners. Like there are certain things I cannot do without you. Just as there's certain things that you cannot do without me. Do you understand? Little things, big things. Now, at the same time, it's also very important that I'm not dependent upon you. It is against the law for me to rely on you, depend on you, to do for me those things that God can do. So try to imagine it. It's actually pretty romantic. God is a romantic motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like sexy romantic. God is sexy as fuck. God loves romance. Loves passion. I love Hashem. I love him. So, God comes in two forms. Masculine and feminine. There's a he and a she. But God is one. That's the thing. God can be in multiple places at the same time. Which is confusing for people. Some people just can't wrap their head around that idea. So if you ask my mother, and if you ask any person of spiritual inclination, you may even see it this way yourself. Is that God is within everything. Within the trees, within little man the squirrel, within me. The piece of God that is within everything, that's she, that's her. She has a name, Shekinah. Shekinah is a soul. Now, if we're gonna get into the soul, soul comes in multiple layers, multiple levels, multiple ranks, multiple evolutionary stages and phases. It's incredibly complex. It is so cool. The lowest level of the soul. Well, there's levels lower than this. But that's where we get into the dark soul. Once we elevate out of the dark soul, the lowest level of the soul is called the neshama. Now, Jews say that the neshama is just a Jewish thing, and I don't know. But when people convert, during the conversion process, it's said that the conversion process, it activates the neshama of the individual. Now mind you, that's the lowest level. There's 5 levels to the soul. And over the course of one's life, the idea is to level up your soul. To progress through those 5 levels. First there's the neshama, which is like the lowest form. The next level is the rush. R-U-A-C-H. Rush. That's the second level. The third level of the soul, once we fulfill once the rush achieves its highest potential, then it activates the nefesh. So it goes neshama, the rush, the nefesh. Now, that's high. Once you get to that point, you're basically good. That means you're on a good. You did all the shit. But there's a few levels higher. Now the 4th level, I don't know the name of it. But this is where we get into the high level type of shit. This is where you're doing. This is where you basically you quit your job. You fucking quit your job and you're now of service to God. No. We're one more level to go. The highest attainable level of the soul is called the Yakida. Now, mind you, these 5 levels of the soul are then encapsulated within the Shekinah. So think of it like the earth, right? So you have the crust, you have the mantle, and then you have the core. The Shekinah is the purest, rawest, most intense form of the soul. That is God within you. That is she. That's what we call she. Now, the Yakida, that's some hot shit right there. Only rare, it's a very rare thing for someone to tap into their Yakida. Now, Jews, the idea is you want to step into your Yakida. So Yakida means, how does it mean? It roughly translates to individual, unique individual. No 2 Yakidas are the same because everyone is on a different mission. The idea is to become in alignment with it. That's basically where I'm at. So a good example of a Yakida. Moses was in his Yakida. Jesus was in his Yakida. Abraham was in his Yakida. Isaac, Joseph. My life, by the way, is a continuation. Those are my ancestors. Part of the mission of my Yakida is to continue the work that they started, which is refinement of the self, but not just the self. Because I hear a question. What? Yeah, but what good does this do for humanity? A good question. Well, that's the point. Once you step into your Yakida, once you're in your Yakida, it's not that you don't belong to yourself anymore, but everything you do is for the refinement and further improvement, evolution, spiritual evolution of the world around you. And it isn't like some shit like the fucking Christians that they go out and they're trying to like brainwash people into doing things. No. It ain't like that. Jews are completely different. We don't look for recruits. And mind you, don't even worry about other one Jews. Those people, they don't even. Those are like foot soldiers. They're fodder. Their job is just to maintain the books and the wisdom. Oy. No, you improve the world around you by improving the world within you. Okay, do you understand? Like, the external world is a reflection. I'm by Tilton Market. There's a sign that says, "We wish you a happy Halloween." Punny. I like puns. You just walk around town like this? Yeah. Is it cool? Yeah, we're at 2 hours and 4 minutes. I could do this all night. See, like, so God tells me like this is how things have to be right now, because He said there's two things that could happen. Have you ever heard of a kilonova? So a kilonova, you know what a supernova is? It's when a star explodes. A nova is when a star explodes. A supernova is when a fucking big ass star explodes. A kilonova is sexy as fuck. A kilonova is when two stars actually collide, smash into each other. But I don't know. This is what God tells me. I don't know. I believe him. I believe him. Is that we would just be having sex all the time. We would just be fucking all the time. Like, it's like it just wouldn't stop. Which isn't a bad thing. And this is what he's telling me right now. Mind you, here's the mindset you need to keep. My opinions are my own. I don't initiate sex, by the way. I don't do that. That's the woman's job. That's just a moral thing of mine. Like, I've been this way for as long as I remember. My entire history with women. I've only had sex with like 7 people. I have had sex with 7 people. That's it. And I haven't had sex in 8 years. So, do I get horny? Of course I get horny. Do you jerk off a lot? I jerk off enough. How about that? How big is it? How big is it? It's a mouthful. How about that? It's big enough that you'll know it's in. You're small enough, trust me, you're small enough. It's not huge. It's not huge. It's like just under 6, depending. We're like in between like 5.75 and 6. How about that? You're small enough that you'll notice. Matter of fact, the way God explains it to me, if you don't mind me getting into this, I can't stop you. Exactly. The way God explains it to me is like, I don't know how you what your name for her is. I'm gonna say pussy. I'm gonna say pussy. Is that okay? God, can I say pussy? Is there a better word I should use? Yeah, say pussy. That your pussy is like the perfect size for my penis. Dick? That. I'm just saying what I heard. I'm laughing because I'm like, this is I don't know, it's like a really uncomfortable conversation. You don't have to have it if you don't want. No, I have to. That's literally why I have to have it. Because I made a promise to myself. Like when I married April, I couldn't talk about sex. I couldn't talk about shit like that. I'd be walking by April sitting on the couch, and she's asked me to finger bang her. Those are her words. Finger bang me. And I would just look at her and say, ugh. Why? What's a finger bang? It's like fingering. I'm a really good fingerer. I like to finger. But why can I like to feel? I like to smell. I just love. Oh, fuck. I don't know, when she would say things like finger bang, let's say we're in a situation and you say finger, like, Derek, can you finger bang me? Of course, I would love to. I've been thinking about it all day. But back then, I was like very blocked up. I was very just like stuffed up. Does that make sense? Like I just like, I had so much shit going on. I had so much shit going on inside my head that like, just the idea of talking about sex, I couldn't have sex with April unless I was drinking. Because it was the only way to get that shit out of my head. So I could like focus on what I was doing, and I wouldn't have to worry about anything else. Because I just had so much stress and so much anxiety over everything that I just, like, I couldn't function sexually. I mean, not that we never had sober sex. We did, it just wasn't the same. I mean, when we would have sex after smoking pot or having a drink or two, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, oh, it was good. It was good because, like, she was the type of woman. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't know if all women are like this. Like, I've had sex with 7 people. I had the most sex with her. And when we did, I always make sure. Is your belly full? Is your belly full? I do my best. I like sex. I love sex. I miss it a lot. I really do. And this isn't all just about sex with you, but I do want to have sex with you. I want to see you naked. So that's not a thing. Would you be upset if we didn't? Of course I would. I'd be pissed off at God. That's how that would work. Me and God would have some words. It wouldn't be about you. I mean, yeah, no, that's the right way of saying it. It wouldn't be about you in the sense like, oh, this fucking bitch is holding out on me. No, it'd be more like, oh, Shem, are you serious? Because again, like, I have a very specific type, and it just happens to be that you are the type that tickles all of the spots. You don't think I'm ugly? No! Absolutely not. I love your face. And I like your lower lip. You have like this little chunky lower lip. It's like this little meaty little thing. I want to bite it. Like, I want to kiss you on the lips really bad. Which is like, being around you is kind of hard because it's like, I don't want to be around you with other people, you know? But at the same time, that's what God's telling me. It's like, if it was a private setting, if you and I were together in like a private setting like that, it would just be sex. I mean, not just sex. I mean, I'm sure we would have a cool conversation about this. Like, hey, did you like that? Did you like it when I did this? Sure. I loved it. Do you want to try that? Okay. I'm open. I'm game. Have you ever done this? Yeah. Do you like it? Yeah. Love it. I mean, I do have some hard nose. I do have hard nose, like, I think everybody does. Like, there's some places where, like, it just goes against my moral code. No, men. That's a big one. There is nothing. There's actually nothing, literally nothing that would put me in a place where I would go, yeah, you know what? Let's give that a whirl. That's a hard no. And I think that's a respectful hard no too. Because, well, one, as part of the law, I'm just not allowed. And that is one that I am 100%. Well, you know what? Let's make it weird. 99.998% no. I would be gay for a man, but it's got to be me. That's it. That's the only way. That's literally the only way. I would have to be gay with myself. Like when I, are we going there? Yeah, fuck it. When I do take care of myself, I don't always make it like a quick thing. Sometimes I like to. What do I think about when I'm doing it? Well, most recently, I think about you. Well, no, it's not like most recently. I have done it before. Like I have a thing about doing it to people I know. But it, how do I say it? We're in the church parking lot, by the way. It was revealed to me that it's safe for me to do it to you. Because what am I doing when you're thinking about it? Damn. Well, that's a good question. That is a really good question. It's mutual. It's what's called mutual. It's called. So when I so shy about this, I know this is why I got to get out of it. I jerk off to you playing with yourself, watching me jerk off to you playing yourself. Oh, mutual masturbation. Yeah, exactly. That's literally what it is. That's like such a yummy fantasy of mine. Have you ever done it? Yeah. Yeah. It's hot. But I mean, granted, when the partner that I did it with, it was like a pre-sex thing. Like we would lie down next to each other, and she would touch herself while I'm touching myself, and then after we finish, then we would engage. That sounds kind of hot. It was. It could have been better though. That's the thing. It could have been a lot better. Because that's sober sex. There ain't nothing wrong with sober sex. The thing I like about non-sober sex is you're not gonna jerk off, are you? No, I did yesterday though. Or was it this morning? Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and it's just like I gotta do it. But that's the thing, is like I have my Shakima needs to be fed with sexual energy. The soul actually does need to be fed with sexual energy. People call it like a succubus, but but here's the fucked up thing. Succubi, that's you. Not you, but that's a piece of you. That's literally your soul, an aspect of your soul coming to you saying, I need this. This is food for me. Because you got to understand, there's like I don't want to call it a parasitic aspect to the soul. There is a parasitic aspect to the soul. You've heard of like energy vampires, emotional vampires. There's spiritual vampires as well. Like that church right there. Those are spiritual fucking vampires. Sorry. I'm just getting a point. I know. I didn't do anything wrong. I might be the Pope too. Heretical Pope, by the way. That's a little bit of a story. But there's an aspect to the self that needs to be fed with energy. Fear, hate, anger, all the dark emotions. All those dark emotions that we try to hide from, that's actually food for part of our soul. And when we hide and deny ourselves those feelings, it's very dark, by the way. When we deny ourselves those emotions, we're literally starving and denying an aspect of our soul food. Like when people talk about like ghosts and energetic spiritual parasites, that come and try to feed off of us. Those are real things, but those are aspects, not just aspects of yourself, because they are external things as well. But more importantly, those are internal aspects of the inner self that need to be fed, that we are being lied to about and trained to deny. It's abuse. It's literal abuse. Demons, for instance, right? Demons aren't evil. Nope. None whatsoever. You know how you like metal? This isn't like... Right? Like there's some people that when you listen to the music that you love, like it feeds you, right? Musicians like this, artists like this, they have to express that fire, that fucking passion, right? All demons are that aspect of the self that need to go that deep. My belief is you need a new outlet. Do you have an outlet? And I'm not just saying sex. I am of the opinion that you need a good proper I'm talking for myself, but I'm using you as the example. It's my belief, the way it's explained to me, and we can just reverse the roles and say that I need to get my brains fucked out of me. And not just like a short and sweet, like, boom, done. No, like, I need to be wined, dined, and then just laid the fuck out. I don't know, maybe hours, maybe days, some naps here and there, just to kind of recharge, reboot. How many times can you go? So I can get 2 shots out of me in one session, right? So just going at it, like there's 2 at least. Well, it depends. Honestly, it depends. But 3. So I was gonna say, 2 is the max that I can shoot, but I can typically keep going after that. After that, it's just like, after the second one, then it's just like, okay, we're there, we're still working. It's just that nothing's coming out no more. If you feel me, I don't think that's a bad thing. How long did you have sex with April? Probably depends. Like, I like to take my time. I come really quick. The first time. That's why I'm easy. That's why I like to just do my thing. And work on my partner. And make sure that my partner's getting maximum. getting as much as I can put into it. So, hour and a half. There was times like, so, Fat Guy Night, for instance. I love Fat Guy Night. Oh my God, I miss Fat Guy Night. I know, it's weird asking somebody to do something I used to do with somebody else. But Fat Guy Night, it's just a name. It's like, once a boy's in bed, we nest. In the sense that the missus, she would make like a love nest in the living room on the floor. Like some blankets, some quilts, some pillows. And we get, oh God, I love Fat Guy Night. Like mozzarella stick, apps, right? You get lots of apps. Finger foods, greasy finger foods. Mozzarella sticks, poppers, anything you can throw in the oven, anything you can get from the freezer section. Pizza bites, all the delicious stuff. Little like the boneless little fucking buffalo chicken wings. Right? So you get all the fat guy stuff out. That's why it's called Fat Guy Night, because it's all greasy food. And then you get a nice little platter, and then you put on a movie. You put on a movie, and then things go. Maybe you watch the movie for a couple minutes, and then you look at each other, and it's like, hey, is your belly full? And then adult things happen. Sex stuff happens. I mean, so the way it would work is, yeah, we have like fucking amazing sex. I thought it was amazing. I loved it. A couple times, like this was annoying. This used to annoy the shit out of me. She wasn't necessarily shy. She wasn't that type of person. So when we would go to like gatherings, and when the ladies are talking, I used to hang out with the ladies. I would hang out with the men once in a while, but I was more friendly with the ladies. Like I was friendly with everybody. It was just, but sometimes I'd be standing there, and April's talking about sex. All the ladies are talking about sex, and she got some smart ass shit to say. She'd say some smart ass shit. I ain't taking that. Like you could say it's a pride thing, and yeah, maybe it was, but I don't want people thinking. You shouldn't be telling people, yeah, no, it's all right. All right. Nigga, that ain't what you were saying last night. I'm gonna tell you that right goddamn now. I got the receipts. You weren't saying that last night when you were limping back to bed. How about that? How about that now? That was like a pet peeve of mine. Like, why are you talking shit like that? One, you should be telling everybody how fucking great it is. They make everybody jealous. Fucking make everybody laugh. It's stupid. Because then you're lying. You're totally misrepresenting everything that I do. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm taking this motherfucker. It's 2:30, 10:30. I do have to go home. I gotta eat. What is this shit? Nah, you know, fuck it. Just start walking home. I am hungry. Yeah, what you doing over there? Motherfuckers probably smoking weed and shit. I know. I want to walk up on that car and be like, yo, what you doing? Let me get a hit off that Sherm. Does that happen? Yeah. Oh yeah. You'd be surprised. Well, maybe not. Well, you know what's when it gets really cool is there's times where like I'm desperate for a cigarette, like I'm really fucking dying for a cigarette, right? And I'll just be sitting home and Hashem will come through and say, go for a walk. And I'll get a flash. I'll see like a little flash of a vision of me getting a cigarette. I don't usually pay it too much mind because what ends up happening is like I end up thinking to myself, like, the hell am I gonna get a cigarette from? And 2 minutes later, I'm walking down the street just in time to bump into someone who has a cigarette. I'm like, yo, you guys doing a cigarette, man? I told, like in his last video, there's a dude over here. I was fucking walking by. I have my boy, Shannon. I'm walking by, and he's like, yo, man, what's up? He's like, yo, you need a cigarette? A cigarette? I said, yeah. So he's up at his house over in the corner, but he's sitting on the porch, but he hops off the porch with great enthusiasm. And he runs over to the side of the fence where I'm at, and he's like, yo, and he opens the pack. And I go to grab him, he's like, yeah, take what you want. What? Take what I want? Yeah, take what you want. All right, I'm gonna take 3. All right, man, go ahead. I got Marco down the street. Marco's cool. Marco rolls his own cigarettes. So he tells me, every time I ask him, he's like, I don't give a shit. All right. So now I don't even, I say, hey, cigarette. I feel weird doing that, but, because I hate not having them, but at the same time, I can see why I don't need to have them. Because apparently I have them at my disposal without even realizing it. I won't ask my mom's husband. I don't ask anybody for nothing. I don't ask my family for shit. It's one of those moral things. I will never, unless it's like, I don't know the last time I asked my family for anything. Because I don't like to. Because I know my family, and I'm not going to give them the satisfaction to hold it over my head. And I know that's kind of fucked up, but that's the way God tells me. Like, don't give them the satisfaction, because they will hold it over your head. Like my sister probably is still fucking steaming over the fact that she Venmo'd me recently $25. I got an email like several weeks back, and it said they're saying something about a Venmo that came through. I'm like, what the fuck? Let me check this out. And it was a Venmo from my sister for $25 with a message, call me. I don't like getting bossed around, even something like that. But now, my Venmo, I can't get into my Venmo because my phone's turned off, and in order to change my password, they have to text me a code, but my phone ain't accepting texts. So I told her, I'm like, I don't use Venmo. I mean, granted, she probably took it as an offense, but I don't know, man. Like I said, I rely on God. I rely on my bitahon. I just trust that when I need something, it's gonna come through. I don't know how. I don't know when. I don't know the why. All I know is that when he tells me something's gonna happen, I told you so. Just like Kim's gonna pop up. All right, I feel it. Now it's gonna fucking kill me is if Kim pops up and she's got a boyfriend. Oh my God. That's gonna fucking eat at me. A boyfriend is not me. It's like, you know when you want something so bad, but you see somebody else with it? And it's like you want to fucking rip that person's head off and like, this is mine. But I feel like that's the type of test that God's gonna fucking put me through. It's so annoying. Yo, you know what I haven't had in a while? No, fucking Denny's. I ain't had Denny's in a while. I'm only saying it because the Denny's dude's walking by. Oh yeah, 2 hours and 35 minutes. Is that a Denny's guy? I don't know. It looks like it. Yeah, maybe not. Nah, it's been a minute since I got to go there. Anyway. So what are you gonna do with the rest of your night? Probably gonna post in the group. I'm cutting myself off from other people online because I just don't want to deal with other people no more. They're bad for my energy. How about that? I'm cutting myself off from all negative energetic influences. You are a very positive energetic influence. So that's why I am not. That's why I'm not busting my own balls about what I'm doing in that group, because one, it's also God's endorsed it, and God told me, like, you got to be more afraid of me than you are this little fucking bitch, because I'm not dealing. God doesn't need pussies. You understand? Scaredy cats. I believe it's a book of Numbers. The Israelites. Part of the reason why the Israelites had to do another 40 years wandering the fucking wilderness is because they were scaredy cats, and God was whooping their asses into shape because they were too afraid to go fight giants. Legit. He says, all right, you too big a pussy to do this? Get your ass marching. Do another 40 years. Well, technically there was a rebellion, and they almost fucking stoned Moses to death. God ended up killing like 20,000 of them with a plague. It was a big fucking mess. What is this? Fucking scrolling. Scrolling McScrollington. Oh, man. Nah, it's like, there's like shit food at the house because they're starving me out. Not starving me out. That's not fair. It's just that nobody wants to support me. And not that they don't want to. No, they don't want to. There's a difference between I can't. There's not a difference. Well, yeah, the difference between I can't and I don't want to is that one's a lie and one's the truth. One's more truthful than the other. And it's like, I can't work. That's the thing. Like, I can't get a job. I don't have the time. But I can't tell anybody I need help. Because I don't. I want help. So try to imagine it like this is, we want what we don't need, and we need what we don't want. That's a fucking problem. That's annoying as shit. But there's more to it. Because you always get what you want, not when you want it, but exactly when you need it. Never saw the side of you. Well, no, how would you have seen the side of me? This side of me didn't exist. This side of me is fairly new. It's cool. Trust me, I love being me. I'm fucking badass. What is happening here? What is that? I kind of want to go over there, but I'm hungry. That's just weird. I've never seen that before. This is a man. He's just standing there by himself. I think. I don't know. He's got a chair, speaker on his car. This is like one of those things that. This is one of those things where you won't see one of these things unless you're with me. I don't know, I'm just very confused. People are strange. He's taking a phone call. Yeah, there's houses right here. There's people that live here. What time is it? It's like 10:30. Come on. to the niggas again. No. Welcome, Def Rob. Nah, low. Dr. Dre to Chronic. Well, when I was in elementary school, I grew up on West Coast hip hop. Dropping Chronic flakes on your ass. Real quick. Okay. If that bitch can't swim, she bound to drown. Non-deuce. I remember when I got this album. All right, so 240. I think I'm like. I don't think this is gonna be like an everyday thing. I don't know. I mean, tomorrow's like 80 degrees. We might go for a walk tomorrow, but I'm enjoying the fuck out of this. It's fun. I kind of feel like I'm not alone. How's that? Right? That's cool. You better ask somebody. You really better ask somebody. Get up, get up. I don't love you no more. I don't even know what the fuck that means. It's a black thing, I guess. You're running out of things to say, yeah. You don't feel weird about this? Which part? You? Or walking around talking to you into a camera? Both? No, like I said, like, over the summer, like, back in 2023, I started recording again, like, on a regular basis. Like, I was doing, like, sometimes 1 to 2 recordings a day. Like, this length, 2 hours, 3 hours. A couple times I would do 2 in the day. Because it's dark out, it can record longer. Less data. Less information. So what would happen is I would do like 2-hour recordings during the day, and then I would go out again at night and do like 2.5, 3, because we're almost at 3 hours. I think this lady over here died, which is weird. There's a weird story that goes with this house. That one right there. I was walking one day and there's a lady, like an older lady. It's like, there's her walker, her couch. Her bed. I don't know, I went up, she was sitting on the porch and she was like crying. I said hi. I asked her if she had a cigarette because I saw she was smoking. And she was like asking me for help and how she's like getting abused and all this other shit. It's like fucked up. But we talked for a little while. And she was trying to like, she's like, oh, come, I want you to stay inside my house. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Ho. How old? It's probably like, she had to be like in her 70s, 80s. She had like bed sores. She had a live-in nurse. All right, where's the house? It's right here. It's right next door. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. I mean, I had fun. But yeah, like I said, like this isn't actually taken away from anything. It's actually Adding to. What'd you do today? I actually did stuff. Alright, good. Alright, I'll check it later.